Obviously, if you don't know the numbers, you don't live and breathe them like you guys do, you can have things parsed out to tell a different story. It's deceptive. We'll put up this poll, though. This is pretty clear. Biden's poll numbers are down. People are not happy with the way things are, how he's handling inflation, economy, jobs, and employment. What's the other media outlets refusing to do, I guess, Tomas? Why are they skewing the numbers for folks?
Well, they say the labor market is great because people are entering into the labor market, but you see that entry is about 100 or 200,000 people a month, which is a tiny fraction of the 160 million people in the market, in the labor market, who have experienced real declines in wages since Biden came in. Now, that's changed in the last few months, but it's kind of like the White House wants us to believe, like, if you're a football team and you're down 30 points in halftime and now you scored a field goal, you're winning. But you're not, basically. This improved a little bit the last few months, but you're still on the losing team.
I like that analogy. And I think people really are using credit cards more. It's dismal out there, John. I guess, is there a glimmer of hope in 2024? Is any of this going to subside?
You always make me the Grim Reaper, Bianca, but no, there are no glimmers of hope. And if we're going to use analogies, I like the analogy he just used there, but it's happening everywhere. Gas prices go to $4, then they bring them down to $3.30 and say, look, gas prices are down. Inflation, they inherited 1.9%. They got it up to almost 9% by all accounts, probably worse. And now they bring it down to 4% by crushing the housing industry. And they say, look, we brought it down. Bianca, I can't go to Christmas dinner and eat 5 cannolis, put on 50 pounds, and then lose 10 and say, look, I'm losing weight. The left-wing media just doesn't want to tell us. And, most of the stats that we rely on come out of the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. And I always say you should just drop the L because the stats are BS.
Yes. Well, I'm not making you play Grim Reaper. I think you know what it is. People want to live in reality. And there's an alternative reality that some feel this administration is giving us. And the gaslighting, it's just so extra lately because I think people have woken up. They're past the point of trying to be told something that they feel at home, Tomas. That's really at the crux of this. People don't trust the government and they don't trust what they're telling them.
I think this White House has been exceptional in, especially the economic misinformation coming out of the White House. Obviously, every White House exaggerates its benefits and downplays its disadvantages. But this White House has been extreme in that way. And I think the lack of the influence of economists in the White House must be very pervasive because the things they say would have not just been tolerated in a Trump White House, coming out as messaging.
Yeah, and I think, we heard Biden the other day telling the media, start reporting it this way. I mean, he's really trying to pressure the narrative here. Guys, I want to get your take, though, on this. Former President Donald Trump is now vowing to replace the Affordable Care Act with his own alternative. He wrote on Truth Social that Obamacare is too expensive and otherwise not good health care. I will come up with a much better, less expensive alternative. I think we have this post here. But he says people will be happy, not sad. And there are statistics that say, according to 11 first world countries, United States, we pay the most in healthcare per capita by nearly double. And sadly, Johnny, we have the lowest life expectancy. Maybe it's too many cannolis.
Yeah, well, look, these left-wing folks, they want to hand out money. They want to incentivize kids to not work hard like we taught when we were younger. And I would just say, Donald Trump has showed time and time again that when a businessman went into the White House, all of the metrics were going in our favor. And your guest said a little earlier, wages are down. Wages were up 7.2%. Real wages were up 7.2% under Donald Trump. They're down 4%. So while inflation continues to go up, the actual money in people's pockets is down like 10% on top of it. So it's exponential. But I would say if Trump has a business idea, I'm going with him over the former plan that was invented by a community organizer, Barack Obama.